Welcome to Rogue Adventure. In this game, we're a group of heroes trying to take out the boss of the dungeon. In this case, for this set, it's going to be the Goblin King. In future sets, you can either go up to higher levels and fight additional creatures, keeping your powered up characters, or you could fight other level 1 monsters as well. Base games that come with 4 of them. We're going to look at the Goblin King for now. I'm going to play a sample game with 2 heroes, and we use the Paladin and the Barbarian. So this would be a 2-player game that we're looking at. And this is a meta game, meaning that each game we're going to be increasing our power as we go through this dungeon until we eventually win and kill the Goblin King. He has a couple things on his board here to look at. He has health and a master plan. If his health ever hits 0, we win. If his master plan ever hits 0, we lose. If we kill him, we get a gold according to the gold value here, and he has a layer ability that boosts all goblins in play. Once his health hits 5 or more, where you get additional dungeon cards, which are these cards here, which are the bad things that happen to us. Over here, the level ups that we can get. Each hero has their own set of 7 level ups, and then there's these square cards, which will boost your entire town, which boosts all heroes, and then some of these cards, like the Blacksmithy, Alchemist Lair, and Tavern, unlock other cards you can purchase just for your individual decks. So the game starts with the upkeep phase, which in the first turn, nothing happens. All players play each phase together. It is a cooperative game, fully cooperative. And I'll go over the other elements as they pop out here. Before we actually pull any cards, though, let me go over your stats on your hero. So on your hero, you'll notice you have 3 different stats here at the corner: charm, attack, and skill. In this case, for the paladin, on a 4 to 6, they get a charm success, which is this would be a charm. On a 2 to 3, it's an attack. On a 1, it's a skill. These colors correspond to the hearts that are going to be on the different cards that come out in front of each player. Skills are traps, attacks are creatures, charms and counters. You get 2 actions a turn. Your actions are listed down below here. Engaging and playing a card are the same actions on every hero. And then you also have a power. To use a power, you can either discard 3 dice or 10 value between all of your dice. And you'll see the Barbarian, he has engage, play a card, he has a separate power as well. So dungeon event time, we draw 2 cards each. So here's a trap, and then we got an event. So the trap will stay in play until it gets successfully defeated. It needs 2 hearts to defeat it. A trap usually has no damage at the bottom here, but it does have a trigger up here. Trigger happens if you only put 1 success on it. So if I did this, I would hurt myself because I'd trigger the trap and deal 2 damage and discard. Or if another trap comes out, both traps will trigger, and then they both go to the discard. Master Plan. I advise on your first couple games, until you think you're able to take him on, choose to increase the Master Plan instead of taking damage, because you don't have the damage to take. So I'm going to increase that one. We haven't boosted our health from other cards yet, so it's better off to just move this down at this point and worry about it later. When we get to the end, we'll start taking damage till we die. Barbarian's turn. Again, it's the Master Plan card, so we're just move that down. And he also gets a trap. Alright, so lots of traps going around. Not much else, so roll dice. So we go into the round knowing what we already have. So the Barbarian rolled really well, for traps at least. Not so much for the Paladin. So let's see. So the we get the cards. Let's draw our cards and figure out what we have first. Start the game with 3 cards. Alright, so for the Paladin, so this card here is a no-brainer just to play because it gives you an extra action also. So we'll play that. Now the Paladin has 3 actions a turn. Alright, I'll play this as my second action. I have no dice that can actually do anything, but I could use this double to hit the boss. But I could just use this to boost myself. I think I'm going to just boost myself instead because I don't have anything to deal with traps right now. And so I'm just going to play out my hand, basically. Alright, Barbarian's turn. Now, we could have been doing this at the same time because you are 2 separate players usually. So you'll notice the Barbarian does have cards that have a little heart on them. That heart means it increases. He could use this as a life point instead of taking damage himself. So his first action, he'll put this out, which is going to allow him, if any other ongoing cards are destroyed, I get to deal creature 1 damage. And also, if I take damage, I can discard this instead of taking actual damage. Alright, so the Barbarian's going to use his 2 and his 3, because that's his skill number. So I'm going to use these 2 dice. Oh, that was a 3. To take out this swinging blade. I'm going to try to help the Paladin out a little bit. And then this 1 really doesn't do anything. But I'm out of actions. I played a card, I did an engage action. When you engage, you choose a player, and you can apply all of your dice in front of that player, unless you have a card that says otherwise. Which the Barbarian does have a couple cards that lets him engage everything in the board, but... Alright, so now end of turn. So we go to the threat phase first. Trap doesn't deal any damage. There's nothing here, so it doesn't have to exhaust to do anything. And then we go to the end of turn where each player draws back up to 3 or 1 card if they're at 3. So Paladin's going to get 3 new cards, which is another reason I would empty their hand. And Barbarian gets 1. Alright, we go back to upkeep. Nobody has any... Oh, yeah, nobody has any upkeep cards. It'd say upkeep on the card if they do. And we draw 2 new cards. Alright, so got a location over here. You can assign dice to engage creatures while at this location. Draw 2 threat cards to resolve them. To clear it. Any player can clear this. So what this is saying is if creatures at this location, I can't... Or, well, while this location is in front of me, I can't assign any dice, any attack dice, basically. And another location. Discard 1 non-plant item. That should be item. That's a misspelling. I'll go fix that later. In front of you. When you have no non-plant items in play, it goes away. So I do have items, so I'll have to start getting rid of my items to get rid of this. Each upkeep, I'm going to be losing one of my items, which is not very good. I don't like that. Alright, and now the Barbarian. So it's a Master Plan card. And first creature. Alright, so we got a blue slime. Deals cold damage. If you deal fire damage, you can use any value to put on there. So, find something that gave me fire damage, I can use any of my dice to apply there, regardless of what the number is. Alright, so both players roll dice. Alright. So, I can't actually attack anything here, but I didn't roll any attacks anyway, so it doesn't matter. Or I did roll 1 and roll 2, but... What do I have down here? So put out and ignore damage, I think is a good one for one of my actions. Alright, so I'm going to apply my 5 here. My 3 here. Just gets rid of that. And I played a card. So that's it for the Barbarian. Over here, I got lots of heals. I could pull the creature over to me, but that's stupid. I think. Yeah, because the Barbarian can ignore damage right now. So I'm gonna give myself an extra die. Actually, no. Alright, I'm gonna draw the 2 extra things to get rid of this. Oh my gosh, another one. Enemies deal extra damage, have 1 less health, and a loot. Alright, so the way loot cards work is the text on the loot card I need to fix. It should just be you keep drawing. You shouldn't be triggering it. But you're going to keep drawing until you get a creature that's 3+ health. So they'll get shuffled. Everything else gets shuffled back in. So that's a lot of harsh cards right in a row. Oh, I'm glad I did this. That would have killed me very fast. Where are all my creatures? They're all at the bottom of the deck. Alright, there's a 1. We need a creature of 3 or more. 2. 2. There we go. These will shuffle back in. Alright. So I still have my actions. Alright, I am going to use this action twice, which gives me 2 dice. I roll them immediately, they go to my pool. Alright. And then I have 2 attacks here. So I apply these 2 to the red slime, because that red slime is worth a whole lot of money because of that loot. I'll take this pair of 4s and I'll hit the boss for 1, because I really don't have anything else I can do with it. And then the 5 will just kind of sit there. Alright, creatures attack now. So he's going to attack for 1. I'll cancel that 1 damage. He's going to attack for 1. I'll cancel that 1 damage. Alright, end of turn. If you're at 3 cards, you draw 1. If you're less than 3, you draw back up to 3. Alright, so now we go to upkeep. So untap all cards. And any upkeep effects happen, which now we have one right here. So discard 1 non-plant item from in front of you. I guess I'll lose the shield. I like the extra action. And when I lose an item, so an ongoing ongoing card just went away. Because remember, ongoing is ongoing action and item. So he's going to deal 1 damage to 1 creature in play. So I'm just going to throw that damage over here, because again, this is worth a lot of money. And now I don't have protection over here also. Alright, now we go back. Oh crap, this would have done 2 damage instead of 1. So I still took 1 damage. I forgot that I had the siphon dungeon on me. Alright, anyways, but now it's at 3. So the barbarian actually killed it because it has 1 less health because of this card. So plus 1 damage but 1 less life. So this creature and this are worth a lot of money. So we'll put these over here. So we're up to 6 gold so far. Pretty good so far. Alright. Stack these locations like this. Alright, new cards. Alright, so boss attack, I lose 2 life. And now I have a goblin. Note the goblins deal 1 additional damage. So this one's useless. He won't attack a player unless another creature is also on that player. So right now he won't do anything. And because of this, he deals an additional damage. And because of the siphon damage, he deals another additional. Now, this is minus 1 life, but it's a minimum of 1. So he still has 1 health. Alright, then over to the barbarian. What 2 cards are you getting? Another goblin. Here comes all the goblins. And then gain a bleed. So what bleed does, every turn you lose 1 life until you heal. Once you heal, all bleed go away. Alright, we're not looking too good right now. Let's roll our dice and see what we get. Alright. Alright, so I think the Paladin's going to play this first, which heals all players, so he'll be 1. And it gives the Barbarian an extra die. Alright, and then I'm going to apply, with my second action, I'll apply my 2 onto this Goblin, killing him. I have 1 more action. None of the other dice I have really do anything. I could play the thing that lets me use the 5 as an attack, but I think I might want to save that for when I roll a lot more 4 pluses. I could just heal a second time. I think I'm just going to heal again, giving the Barbarian another die. So the Barbarian's going to have a nice pull of dice this turn, which he kind of needs. Alright. That's it for the Paladin. Back over here. What do you get? Alright, so alright, I'm going to use an engage action first. I'll apply 2 of these to the Goblin, because I want to get rid of that Goblin. And 2 of these to him. So I kill the Goblin. I deal 2 more. When I kill him, I can deal 2 more damage to him. As my second action, I'm going to heal 1, which will get rid of bleed. Then we get to the end of the turn. He tries to attack me. I exhaust this to ignore damage. And then we come over here. End turn. Threat. He already did that. Everybody draws their cards. Draw. Draw. Unexhaust. During the upkeep, this triggers, which will kill my holy symbol. Now this will go away because there's no more items in front of the Paladin, which is also going to come over here, and since an ongoing went away, get deal damage to a creature, which will kill this blue slime. Alright, so we just finished our upkeep. Now we're going to go into our dungeon phase. So we still have the Siphon dungeon over here, so we got to be careful. So first card, we got a skill. So this one here, if it triggers, it's going to give me 3 extra dungeon cards, which is really powerful. Alright, encounters and creatures in front of all players move the player to the right. So there are no encounters or creatures in play, so this just does nothing. Then we come over here. So it's going to increase it by 1. So we're getting close to where we're going to start taking damage here. And then lose 2 life, so that's kind of harsh. Oh, give me 1 second, the cat is freaking out. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so now, so we took our damage for that. That ends our dungeon phase. So we have a fairly not too bad round here, because we don't have any creatures in front of us. Oops, wrong button. Alright. So Barbarian's got a really nice skill roll. What's he got in front of him? Let's see. Alright, so he's going to use his first action. He'll use... Will he use 2 or 1 of his dice? Let's do the Paladin first, actually. Alright, so the Paladin's going to use their 1 here on this, which will put a hit on it. Oh, we can't split it. Can't split it. Nope, Barbarian will go first. Yep, I almost triggered it. We'll go first. Get rid of that, because that's just horrible. Then, see if anything else he'd want to put out. Not really. he really doesn't have anything else to do this round. Paladin. Actually, no, the Barbarian can take a point of... No, he has 2 damage already. He's kind of hurt pretty bad. Actually, instead of making him take the damage, the Paladin can take the damage from this. That way they get an extra card also, and they get to discard one. Alright, so that would have happened during the upkeep, but we didn't really do anything after that card. That was the last card that was drawn. Okay, so now the Barbarian can take a point of damage to get rid of this. That way the Paladin doesn't have to worry about that anymore. The Paladin can discard all 3 of their cards to heal one. Or all 3 dice, I mean, to heal damage. And for their last... they can draw a card. Well, or then we'll give the Barbarian... No, I'll draw a card. Okay. Alright. End of turn, we each get a card. And then no upkeep. So we go right to dungeon. Oh, it's back again. Siphon dungeon. And a pit trap. Okay. Then the Barbarian. Got the soup cook, which can help heal a little bit. And dart trap. At least the traps are spread out. But traps don't give us gold, so they're not as great as some other things we could get. Alright. So that's creatures. So counterattack could be nice. Let's put this out for the Barbarian. He did roll a charm, so I think I'm going to put a charm on here. Or actually, let's let the Paladin charm the soup cook, because that's 2 health healed. So Paladin's going to use one of their 5s to defeat the soup cook, which will heal 2. Then the second action of the Paladin will be taking damage to get rid of this. Barbarian's actions, they put out the Blood Rage. They do have one more action. So we can play this, even though it moves a creature from another player to you. There's no other creature, so he just gets the draw card part. So we'll play that just to draw another card, just to kind of cycle through his deck a little bit. Trying to get to some of the other cards we want out. Right, end of the turn. Nothing's attacking. We draw a card. Oops, that's a discard. Alright. New dungeon deck. So soup cook and master plate. Okay, so we can't take another master plate or we lose, so that's 2 damage to the Paladin. And then over here, again, we can't take another master plate, so it's 2 damage to the Barbarian. So he'll take 1 here, and then if I take another one there, I die. And I'll get rid of this one. When an ongoing card goes away, you can deal damage or something, but there's no creatures, so it doesn't matter. And then the second card, discard a card. Okay. Let's get rid of the roar. Alright, and now we draw a dungeon card. Or no, that was our dungeon cards. Alright, roll our dice. Sorry that I'm all stuffed up here. Allergies have been killing me. Alright. So that's some good skill rolls over here. The Barbarian also got a skill. So Paladin's first action, I think, is going to be take these two to get rid of this dart trap. And then the 3 doesn't do anything. Got one more action with the Paladin. And none of those actually do anything for me right now. Could give the Barbarian a die or draw a card. Let's see what the Barbarian's got. Actually, I could use my last action to do the 3. Or no, my 3 doesn't actually do that. Still a charm. I'll give the Barbarian a die. Alright, well, the Barbarian will do a skill. He'll go over here and get rid of this. And as he gets rid of that, he can use his pair to hit the boss for another one, because there's no reason to not do it. And then his last action will be heal himself 1. Alright, we're kind of holding on to the skin of our teeth right now. Alright, end of turn. Nothing attacks. We each draw a card. Oops. The last card for the Paladin, which means this will turn into the deck. Now, if I discard other cards before I draw again, I'll just shuffle them in. Because normally you wait till you have to draw. Alright. Alright, we have no upkeep. So we go back to our dungeon phase. So we do have a goblin. Clockwork Servant, okay. So this guy here, if we beat him, he becomes a companion. So he'll give us power. Then over here, we got a merchant. Oh, and 2 damage. Okay, so he has to lose this as one of the 2 cards and take a damage. So he has 1 life left. Paladin's got 2 life left. Barbarian's got 1 left. Like I said, we're kind of hurting at this point. If this deck ever runs out, we didn't kill the boss by that time, the boss runs away also, but that's another way we lose. Okay, well there's no other creatures in play, so I can attack the Pathetic Goblins, because his ability is if there's any other monsters in play, he can't be targeted. I should say creature, but... Alright, so I'll apply my 2 onto him, which will get rid of him. I'll apply my 5 onto here, which heals me 2. Then I got 1 action left. Because remember, when you engage, you can apply all of your dice to 1 player. I think I'm going to put the... there's no threats in play right now, but if I put this out and I take damage next turn... That's a gamble. I'll play this. Gives each player a draw card. Alright, Barbarian's turn. Yeah, he didn't roll very good at all. But I can put this out. Which during upkeep I get to roll and apply damage to a creature. It's not going to help right now, but it is a health. I'll put this out also, which gives me another health, basically. I'm just kind of boosting up his life. I'm trying to last as long as I can in hopes that I can maybe take out the merchant. Because that's 2 more gold. We got a nice pile of gold right now, but I'd like more. Alright. We have no upkeep. End of the turn. Well, before that, end of the turn, we both draw a card. So you notice the Paladin's hand's getting quite big because I've been just doing other actions with them. Alright. Oof, that's a 2 damage hit. 2 disease. Okay, so the way disease works, are the backs of the poison cards, and you have to heal the disease before you can heal your health. So every health healed will get rid of one of these cards instead of healing your life. That's listed on the card. So when you heal, remove 1 disease instead of healing. Oh, and then we have the plague, which is going to disease people even more. Alright, let's see what we roll, because there's a whole lot of stuff going on here. Whoa, it's a lot of ones. So it's all skill, which doesn't help at all. It's the only number that doesn't help. And I rolled 3 of them. Alright, over here, what's he got? He's got an attack, a skill, and a charm. Alright, well, Paladin's going to put this out, which gives her an extra action. I'm going to play the heals by one of my actions. I'll heal 1. And it's going to give the Barbarian an additional die. Oops, wrong die. Wrong key. And another 1. That's good, though, for the Barbarian. That's a charm. So I can take these 2. Actually, before I do that, what's the Paladin going to do with their last action? Could put this out. The Barbarian wouldn't take any damage this turn for the Plague Kid. Well, I can't play a second. I played 2 cards already, so I played a card, played a card. If you look at this, I can't use the same action more than 2 times, so I can't actually play another card. So ignore that, I guess. I guess I can't put this out. I have to I can make him draw a card or give him a die. Wait, I already gave him a die, didn't I? I did, so I can't do that. Or no, he got a dice from this, so I can. Yeah, I'm gonna give him another die. It says it's a 2. Alright, 2 is skill, it doesn't help. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so Barbarian's gonna put these 2 onto this to get us some gold. He'll put his 4, I guess, on the Plague Kid, because it doesn't... I think we lose this turn, though, but we'll see. He's got 1 action left. I could discard a card. Well, no, I did defeat a creature. Alright, I'll do the discard a card and roll 2 dice and apply successes. Discard 1 of these, got 2 of them. Roll 2 dice. I got 1 hit success, which will go to the Plague Kid. Alright, here's the harsh part. Okay. So he hits both players for 1. Barbarian will use this to ignore that 1, because they can only ignore 1 damage, so it doesn't matter which creature I use it on. This one's going to hit me for 2, so I can take 1 to myself, and I'll lose 1 of these. I'll get rid of that. Alright. Now we each draw a card. Untap all the cards, or unexhaust them. Alright, everything looks fine there. Upkeep. Oh, I forgot to do the disease. So, the exclamation point here triggered also at the end of the round. All players gain a disease for each creature that was engaged with them. So, Barbarian's not healing anytime soon. And the Paladin kind of has a hamper in the healing now, too. Alright, let's see what happens now. So, first card, Paladin. Got a loot card. That's going to go to the plague. Or actually, I could put it goes on the Rat Folk. I can put on either of these two creatures. Yeah, I'll put on this one. He's almost dead. Just in case we survive. And, oh, and a plague zombie. Okay. Over here. Goblin Bomber. And Feral Orc. I think it's safe to say we're definitely going to die this round. That's a lot of damage going over here and a lot over here. Remember, goblins right now deal additional damage. That's actually a 3 here. Whew. Alright. Well, if I can take out this as another coin. If I can take out him as another 2 coin. Actually, what's this loot? Discard to exhaust all creatures engaged with one player. That can actually save us. It might save us for a round. Let's see what we get. So rolling these. Rolling these. Oh, it's a horrible roll for both. All charm here, all skill here. We have no attacks. Ugh. Okay, what do we got? Do I have the card that lets me attack? Yeah, so I have this which lets me use attacks with the higher numbers. But it's only on creatures engaged with me. So it doesn't help the barbarian at all. Oh, I forgot my upkeep with this. There was no creatures at the time. No, the Rat Folk mage was out. So I can apply this to the Rat Folk. Nope. Alright. I'm going to play a Dur. I know the damage could kill me this turn. This will make it so I don't die. I'll discard all of my dice. And a card. To use my power, basically. Discard a card. Deal 1 damage to a creature. I'll discard this card. Deal 1 damage. I'll put it over here. That way we can kill this. Okay. And then I'll do strike as my first action. Apply all 3 of these on the Rat Folk mage to kill it. Because remember, he hits everybody, so that would hit the barbarian also. My next action. I'll put this out. Gives the barbarian an extra die. Or no, that's it. I lied. Or I could have with my last action. He already uses dice though, so it's up. Instead of let him draw a card. All right. Creatures attack. He attacks me. I don't have anything that stops that damage this round. I don't think. Yeah, I don't. But I do have counterattack, so I get to roll d8. And if I roll a 7 to 8, I hit it back. Alright, I deal damage. And then all players gain disease for each enemy in front of them. Yeesh. Oops, not untap him yet. And he has 3 in front of him. I think it's safe to say he's not healing again. Then over here, they would all attack him. And again, all players gain disease for each creature in front of them. If you ever run out of these cards, they are limited. It just won't affect people anymore. Okay. So I have to take the damage first. I have to hit 0, so that will get rid of this card. And then I will basically stay at 1 hit point. Alright, we unexhaust everything. Surviving one more round at least. We each get a card. Any upkeeps? Nope, no upkeeps. Alright, let's see what we get. And that's game. I can't take the damage, and yeah, I knew it was coming. Okay, so we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 gold. Each player will get that amount of gold, so each player gets 13. And then we come over here and you purchase cards for the next run. So we could do stuff like we could grab a shrine here. For one of the players could buy this. And the thing is, you can't put the gold together, so we can't combine gold to buy more powerful buildings and more powerful cards. That 13 can only be spent all by one player. So 10 gold could go into this, where then all the undead in the deck, we can apply any dice to them instead of just a hit. Tinker Shop, if we take that, we can discard 2 items to ignore a point of damage. This is really good for the Artificer. Or if you buy some of these other abilities up here to get some of these items in your deck, the Tinker Shop kind of, it works with it really well. The Town Grove's really only good for the Druid. If we start getting a lot of these other items up here, the campsites are really good, so we can have more stuff. We can't afford the extra health or the extra die yet, but we can also buy cards just for our decks. So like we got 13, so the Barbarian could grab this card, which gives him, it just counts as 2 extra health. So he can put it out, that's a 2 health point thing he can take a hit from. Or he could grab some of these other ones. Paladin. The locations, we're hitting the Paladin pretty hard. They might want this, which just gets rid of a location without having to do the clear ability. Also gives them an extra die for the turn, so if they don't have a location, it's still useful to use it. This lets stuff be magic. Against the Goblin King, magic doesn't really matter as much. But there's other bosses that boost some of the creatures, so you can't even hurt them unless you have magic. We don't have enough for that one. This one's decent. It lets us take 2 damage to not draw a card, so if we're starting to get overrun by creatures, we can kind of slow the deck down a little bit. This is a lot better if we have other ways to mitigate damage, which is a lot of these other items out here and people. You'll notice the companions, they all have health pulls as well. So if you start building your deck up with companions, you'll get a lot of extra health. But that's really the core how the game works. So you go through, you do a run. You'll notice we only hit the boss 3 times that time before we lost. But we gained a lot of gold. There were still 15 cards we didn't see. And remember, if this deck runs out, we lose as well. So the three ways you lose is 1 player dies, the deck runs out, or the master plan is completed. The only way to win is to hit his health down to 0. Now, even if you win on him, you do get 3 coins from him, including all the other coins you got, to build your deck up again. And that's because in future expansions, there's going to be other levels. Like right now, this is a boss level 1. You can take your built-up deck and go to a boss level 2, or you can take your built-up deck and fight another boss level 1. There's multiples of them, so you can fight some of the other ones. But all in all, that's the meta. Then to go back to the base, you just take out any cards that have a coin cost out of your deck, and then you're back to your base 13. So just remember, as you're building up your deck, you have a 13 card deck. You can build up and keep 13 cards, so you can discard any cards you don't want to keep down to 13 after you purchased your cards, or you could go over 13, but it is advisable to kind of stay low in number of cards so you get the cards that you want more often. And that's Rogue Adventure. Hopefully you liked it, and looking forward to seeing other people playing it.